Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about political events of the year, the meeting between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska. It was billed as a historic moment, one that could reshape the war in Ukraine, alter global alliances, and perhaps bring about the first real steps toward peace. But after hours of anticipation, ceremonial greetings, and closed-door talks, the summit ended with no deal. No ceasefire. No framework for peace. Just a lot of pomp and very little substance. From the moment Putin touched down in Alaska, the optics were striking. There was a red carpet rolled out. Military jets soared overhead in a dramatic flyover. The kind of imagery designed to send a message to the world. This summit mattered. This was history in the making. And in a way, It marked the first time Putin had set foot on U.S. soil in years, and that alone was a powerful image for him to project back home and abroad. But when the doors closed and the two leaders sat down to talk, the reality was far less groundbreaking. President Trump himself admitted, "We didn't get there." Those four words captured the mood of the entire summit. Putin was no more enthusiastic. He described the talks not as a step forward, but merely as a reference point. Both leaders claimed the discussions were productive, yet there was nothing concrete to show for it. No plan to halt the fighting. No commitment to peace. Not even a joint press conference where reporters could ask hard questions. Instead, the meeting ended quietly, almost anticlimactically, with both men retreating to their respective camps. But in the world of diplomacy, even the absence of progress can carry meaning. For Putin, just being photographed alongside the U.S. president was a symbolic win. It boosted his global standing, showing that he is still a major player on the world stage, despite sanctions and international isolation. For Trump, hosting Putin allowed him to demonstrate that he is willing to engage directly with adversaries, a posture he has emphasized throughout his presidency. The trouble is, without results, the optics risk being seen as empty. Meanwhile, Ukraine loomed large over the entire summit. President Volodymyr Zelensky has been clear, any deal that affects his country must include his country. Yet while Trump and Putin met in Alaska, Zelensky prepared to visit Washington and consult with European leaders. This highlights a central challenge. No matter what Washington and Moscow say, peace in Ukraine cannot be dictated without Kiev's approval. Trump himself hinted at this when he said, "There's no deal until there's a deal," acknowledging that Ukraine has the ultimate say in its future. Still, some analysts worry that Kiev could be sidelined as great powers jockey for influence. So, where does this leave things? Experts note that the sticking points remain exactly where they've always been. Russia wants recognition of territorial gains. The West wants Russia to pull back. Ukraine demands the restoration of sovereignty. And then there are the thorny issues of sanctions, NATO security guarantees, and how to enforce any agreement that might be reached. These are not small hurdles. They are monumental obstacles. For Trump, the quiet tone after the meeting raised eyebrows. Officials suggested his subdued approach hinted at ongoing divisions and unresolved disputes that couldn't be bridged in a single day. The lack of a press Q&A only deepened speculation. Was there real progress behind closed doors, or was the entire event little more than political theater staged for the cameras? What is clear is that the summit offered spectacle without substance. It gave Putin a symbolic diplomatic win and Trump a chance to play statesman, but it didn't bring the world closer to ending the bloodshed in Ukraine. For now, the war grinds on. Soldiers continue to fight. Civilians continue to suffer. And global leaders continue to talk in circles, searching for a solution that remains out of reach. That said, diplomacy is rarely about instant breakthroughs. Sometimes, even the meetings that seem like failures can plant the seeds for future progress. This could be one of those moments. Perhaps in the weeks ahead, as Zelensky arrives in Washington and European allies weigh in, the outlines of a more serious negotiation could emerge. Or perhaps the Alaska summit will be remembered as a missed opportunity, an event heavy on ceremony but light on results. Only time will tell. And that brings us to the big question for all of you watching. Was this summit an important first step, or was it just political theater? Do you believe Putin and Trump are truly serious about negotiating peace, or was this more about optics and symbolism than substance? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown useful and want to stay updated on world events with clear, straightforward analysis, don't forget to like this video, share it with others who follow global politics, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth discussions. Your support helps us keep creating content that cuts through the noise and delivers the insights that matter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.